Today we embark on a journey deep into the ancient heart of Arda, into the veiled history of Galadriel, a power so profound, so entwined with the very flame of creation that it remained hidden even from the wise. What secret fire stirred within Galadriel's spirit? Why, despite her mighty lineage and unshaken will, did she choose not to reveal it? Stay with us as we uncover a mystery older than the sun and moon, a tale whispered in the shadows of a man and the fading woods of Middle-earth. Galadriel, daughter of Finarfin and Erwin, born in Valinor in the blissful years before the rising of the sun, in the years of the trees, bore within her a light touched by the very flame, imperishable. As stated in the Silmarillion, Galadriel was accounted among the mightiest of the Eldar, her wisdom and beauty exceeding even that of many among the Valar's court. In Year of the Trees, 1362 she was born, a time when the trees, Tel Perion and Laurelin, still bathed the blessed realm in alternating silver and gold. Her spirit, unmarred by Morgoth's taint, was powerful and pure, kindled with a portion of the original light that Ilúvatar placed into the world at its beginning, a light that resonated with the flame imperishable mentioned in the Yet her power was not mere strength of arms nor raw might as with Fëanor, who in his pride captured the light of the trees within the Silmarils. No, Galadriel's gift was subtler, deeper, more rooted in the secret fire of endurance, understanding, and preservation. Indeed, Tolkien himself hints in the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien that Galadriel's rejection of Sauron's temptation during the War of the Ring marks her final cleansing from the shadow of pride that touched all the Noldor during the flight from Valinor. It suggests that her hidden fire was a power of preservation and renewal, closely allied with the intentions of Eru himself, not to dominate, but to sustain the beauty of the world against the ravages of evil. When Galadriel looked into the mirror of Lórien in 30:19 of the Third Age, her words to Frodo hint at this concealed might. "I would become a queen, stronger than the foundations of the earth." These were not mere dreams of grandeur. They were the possible awakening of a latent power that had always been hers by birthright and spirit, a power she continually chose to restrain out of wisdom and humility. Unlike Fëanor, who grasped at greatness and fell, Galadriel mastered herself and, through that mastery, protected Middle-earth from another dark tyranny. As we delve deeper, it becomes clear that Galadriel's hidden flame was never meant for domination. It was a sacred trust, a burden she bore across 3 ages of sorrow and change. Her power was not a weapon to wield, but a light to preserve, to nurture, to remember. In this, she became a living embodiment of the hidden strength Ilúvatar granted to the children of Eru, a strength that even the great enemy Morgoth could neither understand nor overcome. As the First Age darkened under the shadow of Morgoth, Galadriel's choices set her apart from her kin. In 52 of the First Age, she crossed into Middle-earth, not out of greed for realms, but out of a profound desire to see wide, unguarded lands and rule there a realm at her own will. Yet the longing that stirred in her heart was never the will to dominate others, but the yearning to safeguard beauty in a world breaking under sorrow. Her unspoken power, the silent fire of preservation and healing, shaped her every step, though it remained unseen by those around her. Tolkien reveals in Unfinished Tales that Galadriel was unique among the Noldor exiles. She was of Amazon disposition, possessing both strength of body and will, yet she did not lead armies or seek crowns. Instead, she chose the long, patient work of tending realms like Doriath, and later Eregion and Lothlórien. Her ability to resist corruption and to shelter light even as darkness spread is itself a reflection of the flame of creation, steadfast, sustaining, and above all, healing. In her, the fire of renewal burned quietly, a fire kindled not for conquest, but for hope. Throughout the Second Age, Galadriel remained a bulwark against Sauron's rising power. After the forging of the Rings of Power in circa 1600 of the Second Age, she perceived the shadow behind Anatar's fair guise when many others, even Celebrimbor, were deceived. Her foresight and resistance were not born of suspicion alone, but of a deep, spiritual discernment, the kind of wisdom that echoes the understanding of the Ainur themselves. Galadriel, having glimpsed the true music in the depths of her being, recognized discord when she heard its echoes in the world. By the time of the War of the Last Alliance, in 3434 of the Second Age, Galadriel had withdrawn from direct wars, entrusting leadership to others like Gil-galad and Elendil. Yet her role was no less critical. As stated in The Nature of Middle-earth, Tolkien wrote that those with deep knowledge of the music could alter the world subtly, unseen. By preserving its true shape, Galadriel, though never flaunting her power, worked ceaselessly to sustain what was good, nurturing pockets of beauty like Lothlorien, gardens where the memory of ancient Valinor could yet breathe. It is vital to understand that Galadriel's restraint was not weakness. Indeed, it is perhaps the highest expression of the flame imperishable, not the urge to create for self-glory, but to participate in Eru's ongoing subcreation, preserving that which was good, beautiful, and holy. The flame within her was the echo of the original harmony of the Ainulindale, where all things sang in accordance with Eru's design, before Morgoth introduced discord. Thus, her true strength lay not in what she did, but in what she prevented from falling to ruin. When the Third Age dawned, in year 1 of the Third Age, Galadriel's unseen battle became even more crucial. No longer were armies the chief defense against shadow. It was the endurance of memory, the guarding of beauty, and the quiet rebellion against decay that mattered most. Her dominion in Lothlorien, established after the fall of Eregion and the loss of Celebrimbor in 1697 of the Second Age, became a last stronghold of the Elder Days, a place where the light of Valinor lingered despite the long night. There, in the Golden Wood, Galadriel wielded Nenya, the Ring of Water, one of the three forged without Sauron's touch. Yet her power was not the ring alone. It was the spirit that bore it. As Tolkien suggests in the letters, her dominion was defensive, not aggressive, an art of preservation, not of conquest. She preserved Lothlorien not simply by wielding artifacts, but by aligning her will with the ancient harmonies of Arda, channeling her own fragment of the flame to hold decay. Through her, the memory of a man lived on, fragrant like Malorn blossoms beneath stars. When Frodo offered her the One Ring in January 1730-19 of the Third Age, she faced her supreme trial. Galadriel's temptation and her refusal reveal the depths of her hidden fire. In that moment she saw what she might become, a queen as terrible as the dawn, beautiful and dreadful beyond understanding. Yet she also saw the ruin that would follow, a mirror image of Morgoth's own fall, should she reach out and seize dominion through force rather than stewardship. Her words to Frodo are more than simple self-denial. They are a glimpse into the fundamental truth of her being. "I pass the test," she says. "I will diminish and go into the west and remain Galadriel." In rejecting the ring, Galadriel did not reject power. She fulfilled its highest form. True power, Tolkien reminds us again and again, lies in service, in humility, in the willing surrender of personal greatness for the sake of the greater good. Galadriel's choice thus aligns her with the deepest purposes of Eru Ilúvatar, preserving harmony rather than asserting her own will. Her hidden fire, the echo of the flame imperishable placed within her at the beginning, was thereby revealed not through a mighty deed, but through a mighty refusal. It is a paradox central to Tolkien's legendarium, that the greatest act of power is not in domination, but in renunciation. And so, in that starlit glade of Lothlorien, in the presence of the smallest of halflings, the secret power of Galadriel was finally made manifest, and Middle-earth itself was forever changed. In the fading years of the Third Age, after the destruction of the One Ring in March 25, 3019 of the Third Age, Galadriel's time in Middle-earth drew toward its destined close. She had preserved her secret flame through 3 vast ages of the world, through the darkening of Valinor, the wars of Beleriand, the rise and fall of Númenor, and the long twilight of the elves. Now, with the fall of Sauron and the diminishing of the Three Rings, her work of preservation had come to its rightful end. But in September 29, 3021 of the Third Age, Galadriel set sail from the Grey Havens, departing Middle-earth aboard the White Ship alongside Elrond, Gandalf, Frodo, and Bilbo. Her journey back to Aman was not a retreat, nor an escape, but a homecoming long delayed by loyalty, hope, and sacrifice. In choosing to remain and to resist evil, rather than seeking the peace of Valinor after the First Age, Galadriel had borne the heavy sorrow of Middle-earth's long struggle. Her reward was not merely the forgiveness of the Valar, but the fulfillment of her own inner destiny. To return bearing the wisdom and grief she had gathered, and to be made whole again in the light beyond the sea. Tolkien hints in The War of the Jewels and Morgoth's Ring that those who align themselves with the true purposes of Ilúvatar, even after long wandering and sorrow, may be woven anew into the music of the Ainur. Thus, Galadriel's return was more than the end of an exile. It was a reintegration into the harmony of the cosmos itself, the final flowering of the secret fire she had carried all along. It is fitting that Galadriel's final image in The Lord of the Rings is one of serene farewell. Her star-like presence aboard the White Ship gleams in the minds of Sam, Merry, and Pippin, a last glimpse of a grace older and deeper than the memories of men. Through her, the story of the Elder Days remains connected to the days of mortal realms, like a silver thread unbroken through the dark tapestries of time. Thus we see, Galadriel's greatest act was not to conquer, nor to rule, nor even to openly shape the world, but to sustain its beauty in silence, to protect its memory, and finally to surrender her place without bitterness when her part was fulfilled. Her secret fire, the untouched echo of the flame of creation, burned not to consume, but to shelter the fragile hope of Middle-earth until the appointed hour. Galadriel's tale, then, is one of silent majesty, a saga of patience, endurance, and profound humility. Her hidden flame, kindled in the depths of Aman before the first leaf fell upon Middle-earth, remained steadfast through millennia of change and sorrow. It was not a fire to blaze across the skies, nor to topple mountains, but a fire to nurture gardens of light amidst the gathering dark, a fire of memory, of hope, and of healing. In the end, her journey reflects the very heart of Tolkien's legendarium, the idea that true greatness lies not in domination, but in stewardship, not in might, but in mercy. Galadriel's refusal of the ring, her preservation of Lothlorien, her long endurance through the bitter years, all these reveal a power greater than the sword or the staff. They reveal the quiet song of the flame Imperishable, echoing through her spirit, singing against the discord of Morgoth and Sauron, and, ultimately, prevailing. Through Galadriel, we are reminded that in Middle-earth, as in our own world, the most profound forces are often those which work unseen. The small kindness, the patient watchfulness, the unyielding hope. These are the true echoes of the flame of creation, shining not with the false brilliance of pride, but with the enduring light of love. So, when next you think of Galadriel standing beneath the golden boughs of Lothlorien, remember that her true power was not the brightness of her beauty, nor the depth of her wisdom alone, but the fire she chose never to wield for herself, a fire entrusted to her at the very beginning, and which she bore unblemished into the west, a light against the long defeat. Thank you, friends, for walking this path with us, through shadows and golden glades alike. If you enjoyed this journey into the deep lore of Middle-earth, consider subscribing to the channel for more tales, more hidden truths, and more echoes of the Elder Days. Namari, until we meet again under star and tree,